everyone.
Hey guys.
And welcome to another episode of Masse Art Studios. I'm Lee.
And I'm Jeremy.
And you can see we've also got a new accessory here with us. So, Jeremy, why don't you tell everyone what you did?
I was at the gym doing chest press and I dislocated my shoulder and maybe tore a couple of things. We'll find out more on Monday when we go see the specialist.
Yeah, so Friday he came running into my office after coming back from the gym in floods of tears, in a heck of a lot of pain. So we rushed him to the doctor, had an x-ray. We're going to a specialist on Monday. But yes, people, this is an example of why you have to be careful in the gym. And why, you know, don't take it too lightly. You're playing around with big heavy weights and stuff, but I'm sure he's going to be fine. He's on painkillers and all good stuff. So this is going to be an interesting pour.
It is, but we're missing one more thing.
What's that?
Someone's birthday is today.
It is my birthday today. And we're still going to try and do what we plan to do.
Yes.
Which is a pendulum pour. Woo-hoo. We've never done one. We've wanted to do one probably for almost a year.
Yeah.
Now we've got the space. And when he said to me, what do you want to do for your birthday pour? I said, I want to do a pendulum.
Yes.
So I really would have loved to have had 4 hands on this one rather than just 3. But we'll do everything that we can do to try and make this work. We're going to talk you through the process. It's just going to be this one pour because it's going to be tricky.
Yeah.
But we'll let you know what we're doing as we go through it. So, without further ado, if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. And let's get to this.
Let's do it.
Let's do this pendulum pour. Thanks, everyone. All right, so before we take you into the garage to show you the cup and the setup, what I gotta show you first is this. So I don't even know if I'm gonna get all this in. This is a 36 by 36 inch canvas, which I coated with a phthalo blue by Golden's Blaze Coat. Yeah. I didn't want to do black and I didn't want to do white. I wanted to do blue, and I hope you can see just how stunning this is. It's gone like a real purpley blue. It's really pretty. This is a 36 by 36. It's a really lovely size canvas.
It is.
And I'll show you the color that we're going to pendulum pour onto this. It's not white. You know, everyone that we kept seeing that was doing this, that we were kind of learning from, was just doing black and white pours, and we were like, we're going to do something different. So I do have a color that I mixed myself,
which is also stunning,
which is really pretty. So there's a lot of process and a lot of technique in this one, but we'll take you through as much of it as we can. So now we're going to get into the garage and let's show you what we've done so far. All right, so before we actually get to the actual pour, we wanted to show you a little bit about the setup, because this is one of the things that we spent a little bit of time researching just to make sure that we got it right. So what I have here is a 1 quart mix and measure cup. These things you can get on Amazon. They're fairly inexpensive. You can buy like 12 of them for $5, $10, something like that. And we wanted a plastic cup that was a little bit more sturdy, and these things are a little thicker, so it seemed like the perfect choice. What I've done to this cup is a few things. So first things first, I drilled 3 holes around the circumference of the lip of the cup at equidistant spaces. The circumference of this cup was about 15 inches, so these holes here are about 5 inches apart. Then I took, which we got from Cabela's, these Berkeley steel-on wire wound leaders. Now I used these because it had a hook to be able to hook into the hole on the side of the cup, and then there's a little bit of fishing wire, and then this thing at the top, which is a little kind of eyelet and a hook, spins 360 degrees. So what that meant was that I wasn't going to have any restrictive kind of, you know, motion from these hooks as this kind of spun round and round. So I've got 3 of these attached to the holes in the top of my cup. Now these things are really important. You definitely need to weigh down your cup in order to keep it spinning. And these things are from Cabela's also. You can get them from the Bass Pro Shop. And these are called Pyramid Sinker, and it's basically just a weight, again, for fishing. So these are 5 ounces each, so I have 10 ounces of weight on the side of the cup, and this is going to help to keep the pendulum spinning. If you don't have these on your cup, it could actually just stop. This keeps that motion going. So I've attached 3 of these steel-on wire wound leaders, 3 of these weights, and then I drilled a hole in the bottom of my cup. So one of the things that we researched was that this was a really important step in terms of how big this hole is. So we started off a little smaller and then we got a little bigger. And the hole that we think is going to be the best for us is the 3/16 of an inch on this drill bit here. So I simply just took my drill and drilled a little hole into the bottom of the cup, because that's where the paint's going to come flooding out. Now, these 3 steel wire wound leaders are all going to be connecting to one more. So there's another one that I'm going to put on the top of these here, and then that's going to connect to the ceiling, and I'm connecting it all with just some straightforward fishing wire. This is 30-pound big game mono wire, and I'm using this because it's strong, plus it's also thin, and it's really easy to affix to the ceiling. And I've got an eyelet hook that's already in the ceiling, so I've just attached some of the fishing wire to that. And then I have one more of these attached to the end of the fishing wire, just like this. You can see this. It's a little eyelet. It's not zooming in. Can you see that? No, maybe not. Anyway, so I've got one of these attached to the ceiling so that I can swing this pot around. All right, so that's the pot. Next, let me show you my colour that I'm using. So whenever we were looking and researching, we noticed that everyone uses kind of just boring old white for their kind of pendulum pours. Well, we didn't want to do that. And you've already seen that beautiful phthalo blue that I put on the actual canvas itself. Well, this is Artist Loft White Flow Acrylic in the big quart bottles with just a tiny bit of the phthalo blue mixed in. And the consistency of this paint is also super important. This is mixed 50% Floetrol and 50% paint, and there is even a splosh of water in here. Now what I've already done, as you can kind of see, my little pot is a little dirty, is I poured the paint into the pot just to see if it's going to come through the hole or not. So I've already tested the thickness of this paint. One of the things that's really important to note is that you really do not want any clumps in this paint, because anything that's going to gather in the hole on the bottom here is going to stop your paint coming out. So this is going to be, you know, a real test for us. This is definitely an experiment for sure. I'm not saying that this is going to come out perfect first time round, but this is just one of the many steps that we're going through in order to produce a really great pendulum. So 50% Floetrol, 50% paint, splosh of water, and then we're going to put it into this cup, which is going to be suspended from the ceiling over that 36 by 36 inch canvas, and we're going to see what happens next. All right, folks, the next step that you guys are going to see is me spinning this thing out on this canvas just to see what kind of composition we get. So please sit back and enjoy me swinging this pendulum over this canvas. Thanks, guys. So there you have it, folks.
There you have it.
Quick shout out to Susan Shepperson for the t-shirts. This one says American grown with British roots, exactly like I am. And Jeremy's is in the wash because he just sweated through his as we did this pendulum pour. So thank you so very much for the birthday gift. We appreciate you. So, Jeremy,
yes,
how did you think that went?
I thought for a first attempt, I thought it went really, really well. I did, and it's a very difficult process.
It is.
It's really challenging.
It is. There's just like with a lot of pours, that have a very specific technique, there's a lot that can go wrong, but on this one, it's exponentially bigger because you're working in such a bigger kind of, with such bigger equipment, I should say. So things that I think that we need to take care of, I'll talk you through as I show you the dried piece because we have it. So, folks, this is the dried result. We definitely got a geometric pattern on this canvas. I mean, you can see it. However, what you can also see is the gaps in the lines where the paint didn't flow in one continuous motion. And there's definitely kind of like splotches of paint as you go around this one too. And clearly we've got a little bit of a gap in the middle here as well. So a couple of things that needed to happen. First off, the hole in the cup I think was the right size because the lines on the canvas were perfect, but the paint was probably a tad too thick. So it might have needed just a little bit more water in it. The other thing that happened was I believe that the paint, even though I mixed it consistently for like 35 minutes, still just wasn't completely smooth. I've seen someone say that they actually took a whisk on a drill and whisked up the paint. Definitely something that I'll consider doing next time, and then just like leave it for a few hours to let the bubbles come out.
Well, he actually pulled out one of my whisks that I use in cooking, and I gave him that stern, you better not do that look.
He did. So I decided against it. Plus I knew I was going to whisk paint all over myself. So the whisk went back, but I did stir it consistently for a very long time. I think the other thing that we need to consider is just how we're hooking it up to the ceiling, because you get different patterns on the canvas, different ways from how you hook it up. So if you've just got one hook dangling, you're going to get just like a spinning motion. If you kind of anchor it in a way in which the line has some kind of resistance over something, then you'll get a different pattern. So more to do. And the reason why we've got this big gaping hole is because there was something I think that actually bunged up the hole in the bottom of the paint, because there was still paint in the pot, but it just wasn't coming through. So at that point it was when I caught it. So what did you guys think? We felt that this was a lot of fun. It was a little stressful, that's for sure, especially considering we only had 3 hands in the garage.
It was very challenging with that.
It was. I would definitely have appreciated some extra help, but no one can help that. But now that we've got everything rigged up and we know how to do the cup properly, and we know the challenges that we can overcome with some different kind of techniques, I'm very excited to try this again. I know. You will definitely be seeing some more pendulum pours from us. Clearly we couldn't redo this one because you can't scrape a 36 by 36 inch canvas when it's already got a base coat on it. But we have a lot more big and even bigger canvases. So keep your eye out on the channel if you really do enjoy the pendulum pours, because we've got some ideas that we want to try out. Even ideas of layering cups in a way in which you get an ombre effect of different colors as you spin it out. Something that we've never seen people do before. So if you've tried a pendulum pour, no matter what size it is, whether it's 8x8 or 12x12 or 36x36, please let us know in the comments how successful yours have been. And we would really love to hear from you and just let us know how you think this one went.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for being here with us. We really appreciate you. We hope you enjoyed this and the tutorial of how we did it. And we'll be back on Tuesday for just a regular old episode. It's been a really fun weekend. If you didn't catch the pouring with the fellas, please go back and check them out because it was a heck of a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Really was. And there's been a lot of really awesome collabs this weekend. You had the Fiona and Cos Creations collab, which was awesome. I know that Sarah Mack has been putting out some fantastic content, and Mina has put out some fantastic content, and you will have just seen her before this premiere. And then you got Gina and Karen and Sarah and Fiona today as well in our premiere train. Choo choo!
I know, and I also got called out. I got called out by Cos Creations, Miss Kathleen. Yes, I did. So for do's and don'ts.
This is amazing. I'm very excited about that. So well done. Yes. Thank you to Kathleen for calling out the show pony. All right, people. We really, really enjoyed this. Thank you for letting us and indulging us in this pendulum pour.
Yes.
And we'll be seeing you on Tuesday for another episode. Bye
Bye,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.